What's the worst thing that led to the best thing in your life? When I was 17, my dad kicked me out. It was over something stupid. I was late for work, left dishes in the sink. He said I was lazy, useless, just like my mom. I told him to shut the fuck up. He slapped me. First time he ever hit me. I grabbed my backpack, stuffed clothes in, and left. I thought I'd go back the next day. He locked the door, wouldn't let me in. My phone plan was in his name, so he shut that off too. I ended up at this bus station in the next town. Slept sitting up with my bag between my legs. Some drunk guy tried to take it. I kicked him in the shin and ran. That was my first night. I started bouncing around. Couch here, floor there. People stopped answering after a while. I got used to walking all night instead of sleeping. My stomach hurt all the time. I'd steal granola bars from gas stations. When I couldn't, I'd just drink water and wait it out. One night I passed out behind a Walgreens. Woke up to somebody shaking me. I thought I was about to get jumped. It was this guy, older, maybe late 30s, scruffy beard, work boots. He goes, "You're freezing, kid." He handed me a coffee. Just put it in my hand. Didn't ask questions. He said his name was Tom. Told me there was a halfway house nearby, place for guys just out of prison. Said they always had a spare mattress. I didn't trust him, but I followed anyway. It wasn't fancy. Stained carpet, flickering light in the kitchen, but they let me crash there. Nobody touched my stuff. Nobody asked me where I came from. First night I slept 12 hours straight. Tom kept checking on me. He'd nudge me awake at dinner, shove a plate in my hands. He was rough, but he noticed things. Like if I was shaking, he'd say, "Eat more." If I skipped meals, he'd throw an apple at me and say, "Don't be stupid." He'd been inside for armed robbery. Said he lost 10 years over one mistake, but he was clean now. Worked construction. Left at 6 a.m. every day, boots on, thermos in hand, came back covered in dust. I started tagging along, just holding ladders, carrying wood. Nobody paid me, but at least I wasn't alone. One afternoon we were on a site and a beam slipped. Tom shoved me out of the way, took the hit on his shoulder. He went down hard. I froze, didn't know what to do. He just laughed, sitting there in the dirt, arm hanging weird. "Guess you're carrying me today, kid?" I walked him 3 blocks to urgent care. He never let go of my backpack, like he was scared I'd disappear. After that, he couldn't work for a while. His arm was fucked up, so I started doing runs for him. Groceries, laundry, whatever. I didn't mind. It felt good, like somebody finally needed me. He sat me down one night at the table, said, "You ever thought about finishing school?" I told him I was done with that shit. He just shook his head. "Don't be stupid twice." Next morning, he handed me forms for GED classes. Already filled out my name. I didn't want to go, but I did, because he expected me to. A couple months later, I passed. Showed him the paper. He didn't hug me or anything, just nodded and said, "Knew you weren't useless." But his eyes were wet. First time I saw that. He slipped back into old habits sometimes. Disappeared for a weekend, came home drunk, but he'd always show up again. And every time I stayed, I didn't bail. 2 winters later, I was working full time. Real paycheck. First time I had my own key to a door. Tom came by with a 6-pack. He held it up like a toast and said, "Told you, kid." And he just sat down on my couch, boots still on, and smiled at me like I was the proof he hadn't wasted his second chance. That was the night it hit me. I wasn't waiting on my dad anymore. I already had one.